and gentlemen, welcome to episode 18 of Kingdom of Kodiak. I'm Kodiak. With me today is Viscount Zander the Reaper. How you doing, bud?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. All right, let's get these fired off here with the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Where does Zander the Reaper come from?
It comes from my old park, actually, from Cloud's Edge. When I used to play there when I first started there, it was me, my buddy Lindsay, who was oh wow, I can't remember his friend name anymore, and two of my other friends, which they were both named Josh. No, they're both named Michael. They're the Michaels. One was dark and one was lighter, but they were like brothers. And we all started technically in Lordsburg when there was a park there, and that's long gone. And we got annexed and absorbed into Silver City. And when I started fighting a lot, I went from Sword and Board to Florentine. Once I went to Florentine, I started killing a lot. So my skill spiked really hard after like a couple months. And I just started murdering my park. So they just started calling me the Reaper. And then one time for one of the I think it was my first beast with the guys there. Jaime, who has passed away now, he's the one that gave me that at that thing. So it was just me being shenanigan-y, and they gave me that because I kept killing everybody.
I can't believe a scenario where you had growth in your ability. I just inherently see you as like that top tier fighter, but obviously everyone started somewhere. So you mentioned that you played in Lordsburg before it got annexed to Silver City, yeah. Cloud's Edge. So how long does that make you playing the game right now?
20 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're another one of these, the entirety of Dragonspine being a kingdom is essentially your game time.
Essentially. Only difference is that I didn't play in Cruces or part of the kingdom really until about maybe like 10 years. That's not right. Maybe like we'll say 5 years after I started, because I was still in high school.
So it's been 15 years where you've been in Las Cruces. So it would be safe to say at this point that you're definitely a Las Cruces player. Hi, Cole.
So like being in Las Cruces, I would say that would be me visiting Las Cruces when that started. And then actually being in Las Cruces was probably like 10, 8 years, something like that.
Okay. All right. So what would you say is the award that you're the most proud of receiving?
Ooh. I wouldn't know. So maybe my there's a small squirrel running around here.
Yeah.
Maybe my Lord.
Okay.
Because a lot of my friends and everybody were there when I got that.
That's good. We did mention that you're a Viscount. That happened at our last Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
That was cool. I mean, I didn't get to get you a circlet or anything, but it was really a really amazing idea. Well, it was Sir Randall's idea, but it was really cool to be able to take that step with someone like you, because we've been clicked for almost 3 years now, where we've been hanging out on the regular. So I was very proud of that as well. Anyways, not about me, it's about you. I say that every week now.
Just get sucked into yourself. It happens, dude. What do you do?
It happens. I cut my hair and then my head gets bigger. It's a problem.
You just need to breathe. Breathe.
Okay. So what would you say is your favorite battle game?
I would say a castle battle game or something along the lines of an objective game, like a heavy objective. You have to do one thing to do another thing to do another thing.
Right.
I guess I guess I would be equivalent to it like a gauntlet. But yeah, castle or that.
Well, Castle should be for sure because anyone that has visited Las Cruces to play knows that maybe once a month, every 5 weeks or whatever, you end up bringing the walls out,
Oh yeah.
and we have legitimate castle games, and they're a lot of fun, especially during the warmer weathers when we can do water balloons as well. It's
Oh yeah.
just
You have magic balls, splash
yeah,
ball. Yeah, it's splash magic.
little splash magic. All right, and given we're talking about battle games, what would you say is your favorite class to play?
I would have to say monk. Uh, it gives me the most versatile way to play for me, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because it lets me play either one on one or one on many, or if I have to go knock a objective down, I can. For me, that's the one that lets me run through everything.
So this might be kind of a rhetorical question because you said it gives you a lot of versatility. But what would be the weapon set that you're taking out on the field with you as a monk?
As a monk, my favorite weapon set is Warpole and Quarantine.
And you got those flows strapped to your hip, and you're ready to go.
Yep,
It's the worst. I
it's
don't
the best.
you with a warp. I don't want you out there with a warp pole ever.
Come on, it's fun.
No, it's not. All right. So those are the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Now, we did add a new general question that we're going to ask every week as well. The first one has a little caveat to it because Kron apparently last week said the wrong name and was never intended to give Morgan a toaster.
He gets excited. It happens.
He's an excitable boy. So the question is, Sir Glenolf is owed a toaster. Kron is now on board with the toaster being given to Sir Glenolf and not Morgan. What is your stance on this toaster issue?
Oh, well, the toaster issue, is it a used toaster? Is it a new toaster? Am I going to have to help someone fix it one day? Can it toast more than 4? Is it a toaster and an oven? Depends.
So you're not even concerned about Glenolf getting the toaster?
No, it all depends on the equipment, I think.
All right. Okay, so for anyone watching Kingdom of Kodak, we're going to have to figure out the quality of this toaster before Zander the Reaper is willing to address it at all. Much like Sir Anatol's stance on it, where you don't want to catch the smoke, you don't want the Reaper coming for you, so let's just get our ducks in a line here, folks. All right?
Yeah, figure it out, guys.
All right. Stillhat, you might know her, asks your thoughts on bears.
Their pelts are warm.
Yeah. And the additional question to that is, who's your favorite bear?
I'd have to say probably Yogi. Yogi the bear. Yogi.
That's a classic bear right there.
Right.
Sounding like Sir Saint at this point. Classic bear.
Classic bears.
Here we are. All right. So the new questions that we got started during the week for Dragonspine, and now it's going to make its way to Kingdom of Kodiak. What are your thoughts on Dragonspine, the Kingdom, getting a pool?
Like an above pool?
A pool. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out, Tom.
Like a truck pool? Like you can drive around in the back?
You want a mobile pool is what I'm hearing.
Oh, well, it would make more sense.
Okay. All right. So if it was a mobile pool, are you in? Is that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the follow-up to that question is, should bears be allowed in the pool?
They can be allowed next to the pool.
Next to the pool. All right. Stillhead's probably going to be a little disappointed.
Bow tie and a vest.
Bow tie. Got it. All right. So I broke your questions down into 3 categories, as provided by the people watching Kingdom of Kodiak. Of course, we have our serious, and of course, we have our funny. But the third one, or the second one in the tier of questions, is always changing for the people who visit. And yours specifically was called animal grooming. but we'll get to that. First, we're going to start with the serious ones. Kenjin asks, for someone who's never met you, what brings you to AmpGuard, and what is your thing?
My thing. Oh, I don't know if I'd have a thing other than being a centaur. But what brings me to AmpGuard is my friends, people I know, good times.
Okay. If you could choose what you were going to be known for, what would it be?
I would assume being helpful, being someone that you could go over there and say, hey, I need something done, and you can be reassured that I'd get it done. AmpGuard in fighting or whatever.
It's true. It's one of the things that's brought up later from Sir Randall, but you're always so very helpful, and it's very easy for people who observe you in the game to be like, Dom is someday going to be a sword knight, but very easy for people to miss that you're also one of the best volunteers we have. Like, you make sure that everything's moving, quite literally, whether it's bringing the grill to the park or the walls to the park, make sure people have rides, the equipment gets where it needs to go. That's service above and beyond, and it I think it gets overshadowed because you're an absolute monster when a sword's put in your hand. But so Kenjin, what is he known for outside of killing everyone? He's also a very helpful person across the board. Um, he also wants to know why one of the things, because it was the common issue through your questions, why is one of your things centaur? Why is that what you're known for?
That happened. That happened at I think it was the first year we were at now the old site at I can't remember the name of it now. The
Mayhill?
retirement. Yeah, Mayhill. The
Yeah.
retirement. Whatever. But it was the first year that we were there, and second year that we were there. And my buddy Lindsay, it was the last time that he actually went to an AmpGuard event, let alone AmpGuard. He was coming. I was coming up from the field, and I never wore a shirt. Never. And all I wore, like, cause I didn't have a lot of like AmpGuard like garb or fighting garb really. I would wear jeans. So I would come up from the field, and it was raining, pouring rain. And I was coming up to the field after hours of being out there from 8 until I think it was like 4 or 5 or something like that, coming up with all my stuff. And I was tired, but I was coming up the thing, and he liked the picture, and I remember the comments on Facebook. He says someone needs to make because someone said is like he looks like some sort of majestic animal, and then he said someone needs to make that happen. And then his ex-girlfriend now, but his girlfriend at the time was messing with or she was going to school for design, and she what's it called, pasted and cropped that horse to make that horse the centaur picture. And ever since then, I think it helps that I'm a really good runner, so I can run really fast and really long time. So it's just stuck. And since I always have my shirt off and just pants on whenever I'm fighting, or at the least like a muscle shirt or something, it just stuck.
Well, we're gonna get into more depth about the centaur Dom here in the second category because that became the standard question. But let's get a couple more of these serious ones out of the way before we get too far along. Morgan has asked a question that I feel like it's going to sneak into almost every Kingdom of Kodiak. But how did you feel about the activity level of the Circle of Knights before COVID?
It was good. It was pretty good, actually. I was gonna cut it into parts, but it was actually overall it was actually really good.
Okay.
Uh, I think the some of the misconception was personal things that would happen during the surgical nights and after.
Sure. Okay. All
But
right.
business getting handled, they'd pretty much handle it.
Okay. So speaking of nights, who is your favorite night?
This is my favorite night. I think I think my favorite night would have to be Axgar, which is an Outguard. He doesn't play Outguard anymore. He plays SCA now. He's a knight that plays SCA now, but he's my favorite just because we were really good friends.
Okay.
And he's really fun. And
So
everyone has an Axgar story if you ask them.
right. Okay. So Still wanted to know who, because we all know that Colt, the little squirrel that was running around your room a while ago, eventually is going to play Amtgard. Hopefully, him and my son will be a tag team and it'll be great. But of the current knights, what knight would you want Colt to fall under or belt to?
I think I would pick between two. I think I'd either pick Sir Randall or Sir Isaac.
Okay. Any specific reason for the two, or
I think if we're going now and he was old enough to show anything that he was interested in fighting or anything other than fighting, those two would probably clear the board. So he could pick one or the other and he'd be all right. Because
all
they
right?
pretty much cover everything.
Yeah, well, that's fact. Yeah, uh, and I think both of them have said as much that they're not restricted to what they are good at. That
Exactly.
they're in the business of growing people. You know, which that would work. Again, though, you might have to compete with my kid trying to get in some belt lines here too. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of close.
We'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll see.
Good.
Darius wants to know: are you aiming for knighthood? And if so, what path are you looking for?
Um, I'd say yes. I would say yes for sure. And not any particular. Fighting just came kind of natural to me. And the helpful or being helpful and stuff like that just comes naturally too. So whichever way I go, I'm gonna try and be the best knight I could be.
Obviously, you're going to be the best at whatever you do, but it does sound like you're saying that the sword and the flame are something that sticks out a little bit more than maybe crown or serpent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. It's to each their own. I mean, nothing I can argue with. Stillhet, again, you may know that person. Was interested in knowing your most fond memory, and I'm going to assume it's in Amtgard.
Possibly Amber.
Yeah.
My most fond memory is the one the one time that we were at Tall Trees uh, for for gathering the crowns. So it was the one time we were there, and if this COVID stops, we have another one. It'll be the second time that we were there. It's the one that they are trying to get together now.
Right.
And it had the reason it's my favorite is because literally all my friends that aren't either live in different states or they play SCA now or they don't play the game anymore. They were all there at that one. So, and they were all camped right next to me. And my tent had everybody. So it had me, it had all the original uh, Storm Riders, and a few of the new ones, a few Black Hand guys, some Corsairs. It had a whole group of people. We were just like this little knit uh, camping area. And the reason it sticks out is because most of the great pictures. So Sin, uh, my buddy, uh, his first that was his first event.
Oh,
Was that,
okay.
and also he was only, I don't want to say, like 3 months into the game, and then and he's been here ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. And now
But,
he's a stand fast in Kingdom of Kodiak because we have to
yeah, look at
apologize
this
to him every
guy.
week.
This guy. But it was that's my favorite one because a lot of our funny stories, junk stories, uh, goofy stories about our friends happened at that event that year, and a lot of things that a lot of people that are my friends now that I hardly see still, I met at that event that year. So I met like a good handful. I met one of my buddies from Alaska. On he came on a crotch rocket to a camping event. He had nothing. And it was raining that day, and he was going down the road, and his bike fell over. He went to like try and stop. He just slid, and the bike fell over. And we were still awake, just hanging out, kind of sipping on some stuff and talking. And we just heard him. It was like, ah, shit, out of like the darkness. And so we came around the corner and saw him, and we gave him a tent, we gave him a sleeping bag, we gave him all the things he needs. And he put his bike in the tent and he slept right there. And I've known that guy ever since he has a kid now. But it was the goofiest and the funniest event that I've ever had. So a lot of like the good memories come from that one.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. I'm not going to hold you to having it be, are you going to finish that with the orange peels and Devrick? But it's got to be on the list somewhere. Devrick still hasn't lived it down yet. So,
real short. He's gonna have to get on the floor or something.
Dame Annabelle wants to know how have you been keeping up with your fighting since we've been in the quarantine with COVID?
All right, so a couple of I've had you and a couple other friends come over and fight a little bit. But other than that, when I do my workouts in my gym, I have a punching bag. So I use my punching bag as my amp guard dummy, and I practice my shots, my footwork left to right, my shot placement, uh, and um, and it's a little bit of a imagination too. So like I try to like imagine the bag throwing a shot towards something to block it and then go. So it's a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a little bit of self-preservation and repetition.
But you're
Just to
still
keep
getting a little bit of work in.
still getting a little bit of work in. But other than that, it's just if you have good fundamentals, you can just do your basic practices, and you should stay pretty high on your tier.
I wouldn't know. We've we've figured out that my computer is non-existent. Uh, I I throw shots and hope. I guess it's fine. It's fine. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Xander the Reaper.
You got one. You got one though. It's there. You gotta let it think. Stop plugging in numbers you don't need.
Well, come on. There's got to be, you got to have 7 decimals in pi, okay? Anyways, Stillhat wants to know, how do you stay so chill? Like anyone that doesn't know you that wants to get to know you, you're a very relaxed person all the time.
Practice. I didn't always used to be real chill, but it was practice. I used to fight on a drop of a coin, drop of a hat, drop of anything, drop of some words, and I grew out of it by controlling myself and things bother me, just push it back. Things bother, just push it back. Just kind of take things in stride, I guess, and don't give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
They get at least 3 strikes, I guess you would say.
so that speaks to you not fighting people. But for anyone who's not aware of this, you also took a chainsaw to your own leg. Was it last year?
Uh, no, that was the
Was it
beginning
a
of this
year and
year.
okay.
Yeah.
And you cleaned up your workstation and then took yourself to the emergency room.
Yeah.
So as far as I don't fight at the drop of a dime anymore. But yeah, you also almost surgically remove your own leg with a chainsaw, and you're still cool as a cucumber.
It's just I got a high pain tolerance. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
apparently. Okay,
Things
so
don't freak me out. Is I guess the easy way to put it. It's like I don't panic. Is what it is.
sure. So coming back around to your willingness to help and your service drive and whatnot, Sarando wanted to know uh, what motivates you to be as helpful all the time.
I think it's just job all done. I like getting stuff done, and if somebody needs something and I'm able to do it, I'm more than willing to do it. I think that's about it. It's just I just like seeing things done right.
So it might as well be you then, right?
Might as well be me doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually how
All
it
right.
goes.
Still had then asked, how did you become such a people person? Because now we're talking about there's a clear dissonance here.
Yeah.
You used to want to fight all the time, but you've calmed down on the fight. But you're a people person. Has that always been there too, or did they have to grow together?
The people person was always there too. I had no problem going up and talking to people, going up and asking a question or, hey, how's it going? Uh, Generally, I I do want to know how you're doing, so I'll come up and ask you, and that's about it, really. Like I just like helping people out, and if somebody just needs somebody to talk to, I'll be right there to talk to them. So it just came out of just naturally me being kind of outgoing without trying to be outgoing.
That's. I mean, I don't know any difference out of you because again, you've welcomed me into your home almost immediately from starting to hang out, and from the moment I started playing Amp and nothing's changed. Like I could reach out to any one of my Amp friends and be like, "Did Dom do something for you today?" And I'm almost guaranteed someone's gonna be like, "Yeah, he was over here helping me fix a roof," or I had to move 15 cows out of the farm and Dom picked them up and moved them on his own, or there was a deer on the property and smacked his ass. One of you're always doing something. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just a general day, I guess.
Just it's a day in the life.
Yeah,
All right.
day in the life. How it
So
works out.
minor detour here. Kron wants to know, as the company leader of the Storm Riders, what are your goals?
I think right now our goals are a little stagnant because of the COVID, so I can't get to see my buddies or do things. But before that, it was kind of um, tying up how, because we're kind of far away from each other, so tying up um, our access to each other. So like, I wanted to get an event going for us, that a camping event that we would all go to, and then an event that we would host for the kingdom or whoever wants to come. So like 2 events generally, one for us just as like a team building, getting getting close to each other, and then the other one essentially working together, working off that team building, working together, and working for and toward the kingdom. And most of it, it's really just keeping friends together. it's a fighting company, and I'm there to teach teach me how to fight. But it's mostly about just people I know, just being in there, being close to us together.
I know that the current king is really psyched for the idea of eventually having another camping event. I'll talk to him and see if maybe if he gets reelected, if that can happen when we can start meeting again. Because that would be awesome to have something like when we did Lumpy's Lair,
Yeah.
where it's just a 1 or 2 day camping event. We don't have to have a whole bunch of people there, but it's just a way to build some funds for the kingdom. Yeah, that's awesome. Kron also would like to know who your favorite storm rider is and why is it Tahini, which would be Tajima, which would be Lord Tajima, which would be Lord Tajima of Cloud's Edge.
Well, it's not him. It's not him. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
I think my favorite storm rider was our old leader, Jaime Ufgar. So he was my favorite. But a close second, it could probably be him.
Oh,
maybe.
Could be. All right.
But he's got to start. He's got to start remembering we're friends.
Oh, yeah.
Got to start remembering.
He has a problem with that across the board that we're going to have to call him on.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to get him a T-shirt or something.
Actually, doesn't sound like a bad idea.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll work on that. That's I'm not a storm rider, but to get Lord Tajima to understand that he has friends, that would be ideal.
Maybe some Dakota rings or something.
So you kind of already answered Lady Silhouette's question about what's going on with the Storm Riders. There's some talks about a fighting company camping event, maybe hosting a kingdom camping event. Also, COVID's kind of slowed down the whole process. Was there anything else that was sticking out to you there, or?
I think the only other thing is one of my other goals that I haven't had time to actually get to. So it's been in the back burner for a while. Was getting our bylaws together and concreting a lot of our rules for our company. But other than that, just keeping everybody linked, I guess.
So, Deverick, you may know him as well. I hear you guys have hung out once or twice. He wants to know how someone would join the Storm Riders.
Generally, it would be one of the Storm Riders would see a prospect, and then they would cultivate him, see if he's a good guy, judge his character, see about the fighting, if he or she is excited about fighting, or if they're not, they're excited about a different part, like what they're excited about. And then they would send me a text message or get a hold of me and ask me, after they'd asked their park leader, they would ask me, and then the park leader would ask me, hey, we have this guy, this girl, we're thinking
this
about
person. Yeah.
this person, squirrel, whatever. Think about bringing them into the company. What do you think? I was like, well, first off, I would like to meet him, so that's the first thing. And then second thing, I like to see him come to at least 2 events that we're all at. So one would be Clan, and usually the other one is Maze, because it's the closest one the closest to where we're all at. So those are the 2 that they would come to, and then after that would decide at the thing. And then the other general one is since I'm the leader, I go over with Ted, and you'd come to me, and if I know you're already, you have a good chance to get in. It's mostly just just buds. It's mostly just it's less about fighting, even though it's high up there, and more about building a big family of friends.
So there was a couple of questions that popped up in the chat. I'm interested in getting your response on. No, first off, Kodiak for Storm Riders. No. But Elo, one of our new people to our kingdom, they literally joined the kingdom page moments before this started. Wanted to know how fast you can run backwards.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fact.
I guess you could test that.
Yeah.
You see me run backwards with the pole.
Well, and also Sir Francis pointed out that he's literally watched you chase people down from your knees.
Also true.
As someone who's been chased down from by him from his knees, I consider myself to be a relatively fast person. Yeah, it's freaky. I don't like it. There should be a ban on running on your knees.
It should. It's terrible for your knees.
It's really bad. It's bad for your knees. Stop doing it.
Don't do it.
Back to the questions, though.
If you get the kill, then do it. But if you can't get the kill, then don't do it. Don't do it.
Magna Hild was interesting in knowing what's your favorite teaching technique for newbies?
I would have to say either them fighting me, because I'm more of a visual person, either fighting me or winners losers. And as we're all playing winners losers, it may not look like I'm paying attention, but I am paying attention to other people and how they fight. And I can see when people are doing things wrong. And then other than winners losers, I guess drills. So like practicing shots on a dummy, or just practicing on each other, just stand in front of each other and throw shots at each other.
I know that my first fighter's practice, it was you and Aqua, and it was just like, okay, all right, I've seen you throw 2 shots. Here's 5 things you can do, and you're immediately going to be a better fighter. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I think the first thing you were like, you lean in. Don't lean in. You're really tall. Like, use it to your advantage. And it's like, all right, that's fine, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I still don't know what fighting's about. It doesn't make any sense.
You just need to fight more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great.
Go home and practice. Oh, look, you're home right now. You should be practicing.
Why didn't I block it, I guess, is the, don't take it. Don't take it. A fond memory of a trip to Yuma. Don't take that.
Don't take that.
Kron wants to know, what's your favorite fighting tournament, win or loss? And what is your favorite fighting tournament event? Single sword or sword and board, etc.
Favorite fighting tournament was a tournament that wasn't, it was spur of the moment, a bunch of buds playing this on the field at a Gathering of the Crowns. And it was a spin to win tournament. So the only way that your shots would work is if you start it with a spin. And it was
we've used that at Las Cruces Park.
Yeah.
When we did the wig and spin tournament. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Magnify that by at least 40 people, because it just started. It was like 5 of us, and then all of a sudden it started to grow into more and more people came over. Are you guys playing a tournament? I was like, yeah, sure.
Why
Here
not?
we are. Yeah. I think I gave somebody a box of chips, or not a bag of chips or somebody for whoever won. I can't remember who won, but whoever, like the first top 3, I went to my camp and grabbed stuff to give them, because it was just a random tournament that we just at a spur of the moment just like, hey, let's do this. Oh, we're doing a real tournament now, guys. I didn't know. My bad.
Yeah. Oops. So what would be your favorite category? Let's go with traditional non-spinning as a category. Let's
be traditional. I'd say pole. Pole's my favorite.
Oh, you're the worst. It's not only do I not know how to fight it, but I get hit by it. For some reason, my entire body stiffens up, so they feel a lot more rigid than any other shot I take. Well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it could be open, and it could be a speed pull on sword.
The down spear sword thing is starting to get my eye a little bit. I may.
You might get tempted.
I might
sneak you.
Yeah, might get a little wild with it. Maybe like a almost full Madu with a sword. I don't know. It's crazy. I've been isolated far too long. I'm starting to think things are cool when they're not. Um, maybe
You're
I was
cool.
doing that beforehand.
I believe you were, but it still works out.
Last question in our serious realm. Stillhat wants to know, why does Dame Enabali have such great squires, and why should Kodiak be one of her squires?
Well, I've talked to her, and she doesn't think very well about her squires. So I don't know about the best squires.
Oh my. Are they not living up to standards? Oh, Damian Abali and two of her squires are in the chat right now. So you may have just started a belt war here.
It's okay, mom's here.
So the other part of that question is, why would you promote Kodiak joining Damian Abali's belt line?
She could finally have a good squire.
Well, I mean, that's how we set the standard high right there.
Yeah.
Is
higher than some sort of badger.
Oh, some sort of badger's just been called out. Oh, well, I didn't take that from you, Deverick. Sorry, that didn't actually happen. All right. So that was all the serious questions. Now we're getting to the second category, which again was titled animal grooming, because there was a lot of centaur like grooming questions. We'll get into them. We'll see how it goes. Morgan would like to know, how does it feel to be the centaur of attention? Sorry, Sin. It's another pun, and
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. You would have to ask some sort of centurion.
Oh, do we have one of those?
Probably somewhere.
All right. We don't know. We got to ask different people. They're not here. How does one become a domator, which apparently is the creature combined with your mundane name?
Practice.
Okay.
Practice.
Okay. Dame Annabelle is interested in knowing why you are so majestic versus how you are so majestic. Why? Why would you do that?
Oh. Why or how?
Why? Why are you so majestic? Why? Yeah.
Because nature wills it.
Nature finds a way.
It may not be the best way, but they find a way.
Okay. All right. Magnahild wants to know, how does it feel to be the prettiest centaur?
I wouldn't know. I never see myself in the mirror.
Oh. So there's a whole nother issue, viewers. Sir Glenalt needs a toaster, but Zander the Reaper needs a mirror. It would have to be full length too, because I'm assuming he's only seeing above his waist and doesn't actually know. Have you been filled in that you're actually half horse? Is that?
People keep telling me that.
Oh.
I always thought it was weird. I didn't have to shoot flies with my hands, but
fair enough. Kyla from Glasslord Highlands was interested in knowing what shampoo you use to keep your coat so shiny.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
We could have got a real answer out of that, what shampoo he uses, but no, blood, sweat, and tears. Figure it out. All right. Kron was interested in knowing if we're talking about horseshoes or we're talking about natural hooves.
Natural hooves.
Natural hooves. Hey, a real straight answer for you. It's all natural over here. Stillhat wants to know, do you wish that you had more legs?
I feel like they get in the way.
So I'm not entirely sure if it's, do you want more legs as a centaur, which means you would have 6 or more, or is she asking you as a human, do you
Is
want?
that if I was a centaur with more legs, would I get more horsepower or less?
I guess it depends on where the legs are, right?
Yeah, yeah. If they're on the back, I don't think it'd do anything unless I was rolling. Who
Sure.
knows?
Yeah. And Kron, for the last question of this category, who would win a fight? Centaur you or Minotaur you?
Centaur.
And
Minotaur.
why?
Minotaur is too dumb.
So we've experienced Minotaur Zander the Reaper before. Is that what we're saying, or?
No, I mean, depending on what I do when the horse sleeps and the junk meat plays.
Kenjin wants to bring out the point that maybe the reason that Zander the Reaper is not able to see himself in a mirror is because he's actually a centaur vampire. Just keep that in mind, viewers.
It could happen. We never know.
I don't know why you're backing that as if like you not being a vampire would be something that you'd be like, oh, I have no idea.
Oh, we'll see.
Maybe if I want to, I'll be a vampire.
I know some people.
Right. All right. So our last little category we have here is called funny. And these are just the ones that didn't naturally pertain to you at all. They were just the questions that the viewers of Kingdom of Kodiak tend to put in, test some mind power on their people. Morgan would like to know, is cereal soup? Why or why not?
No, it's not soup.
Why or why not?
No, that's it. No.
That's because?
No, it's not soup because I think of soup as noodles and filling, and cereal's not filling or have noodles.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say cold, and I was going to have to call you on it, but you didn't. You didn't. You're good about that, so that's fine. Morgan would also like to know, if animals could talk, what animal would be the rudest?
I feel like the misconception that a badger would be the rudest, but I feel a peacock would be the rudest because they feel entitled.
Oh, okay. So you took a shot at a badger earlier, and now you're coming back and be like, but you know what? You're not the rudest.
They're grumpy. They're not rude.
But the peacock, all right. All right, little ego mind game there. I got another food question for you.
Love it.
Hot dogs. Are they a sandwich? Are they a taco? Or are they something that we would never understand?
They're delicious.
They're delicious, right? I stand by my statement that determining what a hot dog is directly proportionate to if the bread is still touching. If the bread is broken, it is a sandwich. If the bread is stayed together, it's a taco.
I would refer you to a statement that that one of my friends would have said. It is not. That's it.
Fair enough. It is not.
It is not. Also, if you're thinking that much about if it's a taco, if it's a burger, or if it's a hot dog, you're probably just hungry and need to eat it. Just eat
There you
it.
go. Crying, you're a skinny boy. You just need to eat. Okay. Just
You gotta get that nutrients, bud.
yeah. You're delusional with your thoughts of tacos and sandwiches. Just eat. All right. More taco questions from Darius. What's your thoughts regarding the menu changes that Taco Bell is making?
They're fine. All the things I like are still there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're fine.
okay. The simple answer. Darius also wants to know, for some reason, What's your favorite shower thought?
What's my favorite shower thought?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's try to keep it in the realm of the
Oh,
PG category.
eh. I would say my favorite shower thought is more on the random actually. It's like what I think about in the shower is just like, hmm, did I loot that thing in the video game? Why did he say that? Is Cardi still waiting for me? Random things.
Hmm. Okay.
I think
I
more
just
more
got a
like
message from a Deo saying
go ahead.
that we're broke, but we're only one question away from the end. So uh, I don't think we're gonna worry about it. I think we're still live. I'm still live here.
I think we're fine because
Okay.
I think live on my side.
Okay. Um, so the last question from Darius is an apple empanada just a sweet calzone?
I would say a calzone is a meaty empanada.
Okay. All right. Well, Xander, with that being said, that concludes all of the questions we had for Kingdom of Kodiak today. Thank you for coming on. Uh, as far as any announcements for or from you, is there anything that you'd like to put out into the ether?
Um, Other announcements, not really. Um, Fight your friends and have fun. About it.
Awesome. As far as from this end, there is the very, very small survey that is put on the Kingdom page. Please, if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that. It's just a couple of quick questions about our MPO status and stuff surrounding that. It's 4 questions long. Please go do that before mid rain, August 8th, so that after mid rain we can talk about that over stream. Okay. Additionally, this week is uh, the Circle of Monarchs meeting that would have been at the GOTC this year. So, in the Saturday chats, I will be unavailable. I will be in those meetings. But if you want to message me on Messenger to get any insights or updates or whatever, please do so. With that being said, that's all I have. This has been episode 18 of Kingdom of Kodiak. Xander, Dom, buddy,
Pal.
pal, have a good
Pal.
one.